Hello and welcome. My name is Gabby Lemons, and today we're tackling a major kitchen declutter. This project actually took me 4 days spread out over the course of a month to actually finish. Life happens, right? But little by little, we're getting it done. If you've been putting off decluttering a space in your home, my hope is that this video gives you the motivation to just get started. So let's go ahead and declutter this kitchen together.
Breaking the chains of anxiety. Since I am as a thing taking take my thoughts into captivity. This life is full of opinion, and everything wants my attention.
Going into this, I knew this was going to be a lot of work, but I seriously underestimated how much work it was going to be. I also didn't realize how important it is to have a strategy going into any type of major room declutter. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but I just figured that I'd be totally fine just winging it, just empty out all the cupboards, take everything out, wipe everything down, and put things back in a more neat way, a more organized way. But what I learned later on in the video is that it's not that easy. I did have a general idea of how I wanted to kind of section off my kitchen before going into this, but I just wish I would have been a little more specific. But there is plenty more that I need to declutter throughout the rest of my home, so if you guys have any tips or advice, I would love to hear it down in the comments below.
So my mind will be staying on you.
I'm so glad that I decided to start on my kitchen because this is definitely the area that has given me the most underlying stress, if I could put it that way. When there's something just kind of hanging over your head, and especially it being in the kitchen where I'm at every single day, several times a day. I am so glad I started here, and I'm even more glad to be finished with it. But I will say that throughout this entire process, I was really able to see just how much work my house is going to need. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to be able to do because I am renting, so anything I do is going to either be renter friendly, but I have been really considering trying to reach out to my landlord to see if she would be okay with me making any kind of changes to the house, like possibly painting, refinishing the inside of these cupboards that you see here, just things like that. Hopefully she'll say yes. Hopefully I'll be able to make some pretty decent modifications and do some makeover type content for you all. It just all depends on, what she says. But either way, I'm sure I'm going to be doing some kind of improvement to the home, whether I have to stick to renter friendly and just be really creative, or best case scenario, I get approval from her to do a little more extensive work. With all that being said, I am definitely open to any kind of ideas or suggestions that you might have, whether it's a topic you would like me to cover, a style of video you would like to see, or any kind of homemaking or decorating tips you would like to share. I am all ears. And now it's time for one of the more challenging parts of this whole declutter is sorting through all of my cups. So if you're like me, you definitely have a good stockpile of cute cups, whether they're mugs, tumblers, thermoses. I don't know what it is. It's just they're so addicting. I love buying them. I love looking at them. I love using them. But when it comes to storing them, that's a separate issue. But I think the ones that are the hardest for me to get rid of are those that I got as gifts. So if you look to my left, you'll see a set of green glasses. I absolutely love those. I got those as a Christmas gift. There's also a red mug you can see and a blue mug with some white design on it. Those are very special to us too because we actually were able to pick those up in Germany when we went a few years ago to help out a missionary. I definitely ended up keeping a lot more cups than I really wanted to, but it's just so hard to get rid of. There's so many more that are gifts from my husband, from my family members for birthdays and holidays, things like that. So I'm always so torn when it comes to things like that. I feel so bad giving away things that people have given me as gifts. But I guess it could be a good excuse just to find another piece of furniture. Ugh.
It's gonna work out for my good. Yeah.
Let me tell you just how I know when I lost it all. He returned it 100-fold, 'cause I held on to his promise. If you wonder what the future holds, if it will get better, just rest and take it slow, one foot in front of the other. Every good, perfect thing. Let's see they may bring for my good. I see it working. It's all working. Yes, it is.
For my good. For my good.
It's gotta work.
It's all working.
For
My good.
for the Lord.
And this, friends, is a prime example of how not to do this. Because the curtain is so light and there was so much weight on the bottom, it caused it to keep sliding around as I was trying to cut a straight line, which, as you can imagine, didn't work out too well. I was just being lazy, to be perfectly honest with you. I did not feel like measuring or trying to figure out how to draw a perfectly straight line across the bottom where I needed to make the cut. I just wanted to get the cut done. I just wanted to get them shorter, that way I can hang them without having them bunch up at the bottom like they were. And I knew that I was risking cutting it crooked by doing it this way, but I don't think I did too bad. Now, they are a little crooked and uneven and a little shorter than I wanted, but it's nothing that a little home decor can't help with. I also will say that these are just a temporary solution. They're actually curtains from my old apartment that we were living in that I'm using just to fill the space until I find a more permanent solution.
Do you ever feel you don't get out what you're putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith
This is a cupboard that we used to keep all of our meds in. And when I tell you it was bad, it was bad. Okay, so don't judge me. Just be proud that I'm finally doing something about it.
Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. I give it all to you for too There must be another way. There must be conscious. Different things in different ways. There must be more to the reason why.
So now I'm just sorting through all our medications. I got to sort through all the old and expired ones and separate my vitamins and supplements and my husband's medications and supplements as well. And I was able to find a couple of Dollar Tree baskets to help me out with this organization for now. In this first basket, I just have some of the over-the-counter general medications. This next basket is going to be my husband's supplements and medications. And then this last one is just for some miscellaneous items.
Has got to come my way.
When I think about His grace, there's freedom, something like a woman praise. I'm grateful for the loving that you gave. It's so amazing. No matter who we are, we know you'll never change. I'm in awe of how you keep doing something amazing. He's always a way, doing something amazing. Because of His grace, doing something amazing. Always amazing.
A while back, I came across a reel of a Lego Batman refusing to go out to a party, and it was supposed to appeal to all the introverts out there, myself being one of them. And at the end of the video, he just kept repeating the word no so many times and ended up beatboxing to that rhythm that he was creating. I just thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and I related to it so much. And a few days later, my husband ended up buying me this little Lego Batman that I was able to find today while cleaning this cabinet up here. I actually thought I lost it whenever we moved, but finding it today made me so, so happy. It's the little things in life, right?
Something amazing. Always amazing.
He's always doing
Amazing.
something amazing.
Grace, unending love, never failing peace, overflowing hope to keep going. That's unending love, never failing peace, overflowing hope to keep going.
Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say how much I appreciate you being here, and I truly hope that this has been a good source of motivation for you in your homemaking. But although I aim to provide you with plenty of homemaking motivation, I do also want to encourage you in the Lord, because I know how hard it can be to battle that discouragement and, just things that we face as Christian homemakers. Sometimes the everyday work of taking care of a home can feel like nobody notices. You clean something, organize something, cook something, and the next day, it feels like it all just needs to be done all over again. It's really easy to wonder if any of it really matters. But the Bible reminds us in Colossians chapter 3 and verse 23 that whatever we do, we should work at it with all of our heart, as working for the Lord and not for people. Even the small, ordinary things like cleaning out a drawer or organizing a cabinet can be done as an act of faithfulness. Trust me, God sees those things that no one else notices. The quiet work, the effort you put into caring for your home and your family, the moments where you keep going even when you feel tired or even discouraged. None of that is wasted. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed or like the work that you do at home doesn't matter, I'm here to tell you that it absolutely does. The Lord sees it, and your faithfulness in the small things is so meaningful to Him. So in each and every video of mine, I hope that you do leave motivated, encouraged, and inspired to keep going in your homemaking journey, but also in your walk with God. Let's just do our best and trust Him with the rest.
But perfect peace, it can be achieved through grace. Rise above it, so life is life. Ooh, when trouble's troubling,
It's just pile up.
ooh, remember my friend,
God is great.
God is greater
Then I'm
than
wrong.
when it feels like you can't make it through. Just find your gratitude. Just find your gratitude. Just find your gratitude.
Set me free if I just believe I am.
Vision is key, so if you can see, you can.
So life is life and
Trouble is troubling.
it's just pile up.
Remember, my friend,
That God is greater than our problems. When it feels like you can't make it through,
find your gratitude.
find your gratitude.
Find your gratitude.
It was around this point that I had decided that I was going to finish this project either this day or the next, because I was tired of having it hanging over my head and incomplete. So I just went all in. I wasn't worried about putting stuff back or trying to organize as I went. I had just decided that I was going to pull everything out of every drawer and cabinet and have it all laid out so that I could categorize it easier by being able to have everything laid out right in front of me, which also helped me to move to different sections of the kitchen a little more quickly because I wasn't so worried about putting things back and reorganizing as I went. Which touches on what I talked about earlier about having a plan. If I had had a more clear plan before I started this whole decluttering project, this whole process would have went way more smoothly.
I am God,
I'm your arm.
don't let go.
Keep holding on. fight your battles. I'm the only one who's better than you know yourself.
Don't let go of me.
Drawing close.
Call out desperately
When you need me the most.
I am God.
I'm your rock.
Don't let go.
Keep holding on to me. Drawing
Call out
close.
desperate.
Yeah, so I wasn't joking when I said I was going all in. I ended up grabbing this fold-out table from the garage so that I can have more room to put stuff on, because I just knew I wasn't going to be able to finish this day. This day, actually this week of recording this portion of the video, I was really sick. I was having hay fever, nausea, congestion, you name it. I was not feeling good, and my lungs were even giving me a little bit of difficulty. So at this point, I realized that I had pushed myself a little too hard. But before I quit for the day, I just wanted to empty this last section of the kitchen because I figured it would be a good place to leave off, and the next day I would just have to wipe down the shelves and start reorganizing everything and putting everything back.
Hold your hand. Unchanging faith. Unchanging faith. Can't trust my plan. I'm still.
Don't let go of me.
Drawing
Call
close.
out desperately
When you need me the most.
I am God.
I'm your rock.
Don't let go.
Keep holding unchangeable. There's no sickness that is unhealable, and no one.
This day, I still wasn't feeling all that great, but I was so incredibly happy to finally make it to this point to where I could finally start putting things away. But what I did do slightly differently than the day before was I made sure to give myself regular breaks because, mind you, I'm still sick. I'm still not feeling good, and the more I did, the more feverish I felt. So I would basically just work for a couple hours and take like a 30 to 40-minute break, work for another hour or two, take a break, and so on. I made sure to keep doing this until I was done.
Joy came in the morning and the birds are singing sweet sounds. Ooh, the sun set me free if I just believe I am. Vision is key, so if you can see, you can rise above it. So when life is life and trouble's troubling, issues pile up, remember, my friend, that God is greater than our problems. When it feels like you can't make it through, just find your gratitude. Just find your gratitude. Just find your gratitude.
Mercies are new with every sunrise. There's so many ways to count your blessings. In Him, we move and breathe and have our being. If you're alive, He's keeping you safe. Take it from me, a perfect life is.
Remember this cabinet from earlier? Well, since I didn't have much of a plan, I ended up having to rearrange the cabinet situation yet again. So what I ended up deciding on was making this cabinet that you see here the snack and tea and coffee area, and keeping that whole other section near my fridge that you see here designated for all of the baking stuff. So we're really into sourdough, and with that comes a lot more utensils and a lot more pantry items to stay on top of and make room for. So I ended up having to make this last minute switch, but I'm so glad I did. Having everything all in one place, it works so well.
Set me free if I just believe I am.
Vision is key, so if you can see, you can. riffing. Troubles troubling. Issues pile up. Remember, my friend, that God is greater.
Just in case you forgot, this is what it looked like before. I wish I could have got more before footage for you guys, but this is gonna have to do for this video.
This the overcomer's anthem.
And here is the after.
Got the key.
Now, I know it's not Pinterest perfect, but it's functional. And I cannot tell you how good it feels to know that everything is in its place. My shelves and cupboards aren't overcrowded anymore. And now I just have to look forward to getting a little more fine-tuning done. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one.